contains graphic detailed description and strong language. Viewer discretion is highly advised. Hi guys, Mambo, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayshar and here I do makeup, talk about true crime and everything unexplained. So yeah, without any further ado, let's jump to the video. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, share and click that bell notification down below. Turn on your notifications so YouTube every time I post can be, hello, Aisha's Corner. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, today's, I'm a bit different and whatever. Anyway, so today I'm going to talk about a case that I never thought something like this will happen around me. You come on, you've been to Nairobi or you're in Nairobi. Well, it happens countrywide. We're still, it's something that goes on here in Kenya. But if you've been to Nairobi, trust me when I say this to you, you have never thought that something like this happens, or you pass, something that is just imagine you've experienced it once or twice in your lifetime, or every day for people who work in town in CBD Nairobi. So yeah, let's jump into the video because it's an emotional roller coaster. Yeah, so like I've mentioned, watu wamekuwa Nairobi, you umepitana, you've passed by beggars everywhere, people who want you to give them like 5 shillings, 10 shillings, anything little that you have. And these people who beg, if you've realized, they mostly just want money, they don't want food. Rarely they accept food. And when you give nowadays beggars, when you give them like some little cash, like pesa kidogo, they wanakutusi, they be like, what's this? So yeah, it's very unfortunate. And most of us just sit here or pass them not thinking or minding where they came from or who brought them there in the first place, because most of these people in the streets are literally, what can I say, disabled. Literally, they are disabled. Having hair is stressful. Yeah, they are disabled. So I was researching this about some years ago. It was even on TV, like on Citizen News, how these beggars, like, it's a job for them, like a job. And I remember a friend of mine telling me, I was working in town at that time, like, these people, like a job, they make a lot of money. Hey, so I started researching, like just the other day, started researching about it, and I came across this documentary by BBC by one of the investigative journalists. Her name is Njeri Mwangi, and trust me when I tell you, I don't do justice to this case as she did. You should go watch that documentary. I don't do any justice to this case because she investigated this over a whole year, and the things that she unraveled or realized are very gruesome things, weird things that she never thought that go through. So yeah, we're going to talk about mainly one beggar's story. He's going to be the star of today's episode. And it seems like there's a whole cartel behind this. People like these beggars who are on the streets, because like if ikifika jioni, you usually see people, or you've seen someone like carrying them on a wheelbarrow or something to push them. Those are people who are working for the people who brought them here. Like, we have smugglers, or what can I say, like human traffickers, something like that. These people, these disabled people, most of them are kids, as you know. You think that they are Kenyan or they grew up around, our country, but what Njeri Mwangi unraveled or realized as she was doing her investigation is that most of these kids were trafficked from Tanzania was smuggled from Tanzania, and not in a way that these people the traffickers will go to desperate parents or desperate people in poor cities. The main city that they will go to is called Mwanza. They'll go there, and I think there's a high rate of, you know, poverty, or people who are desperate to change their lives, people who just want something different, something better, and they lie to these parents and, like, you know, give us your disabled kids in Nairobi. They can get a better life, they can get, you know, we can put them like on the streets to beg, and they will get better lives, they will get, you know, good funds, and we will, you know, be sending money to you. And due to the desperateness of the parents, they definitely agree. They'll be like, oh, that seems to be a very, very good idea. So most of them don't even know what their children, you know, get into after coming to Nairobi, Kenya. I'm going Nairobi. It's not a city to play with. So these kids, when they upon reaching Nairobi, they are subjected to, you know, being money, what can I say, money making machines. That is what they are subjected to. Literally, this is modern day slavery, because they are put under very, very, very harsh conditions. They live under very harsh conditions. They make at least 2K in a day, and in a whole year, one kid, or, you know, one beggar can bring up to 700K in a whole year. That's some cha-ching. So one of the kids who is going to be the star of the show, his name is Farah. I just know his first name. His name is Farah, and he was taken from his parents, who are really desperate for, you know, to change their living conditions. And these guys will like go and like tell such desperate parents, because they know that this guy is desperate. They go and tell them like, Farah is going to come with us and beg. They do know their kids are going to go on the streets and beg, but they're told how that business is like booming and like hot cake here in Kenya, of which it is. Let me get my eye correct and I'll be right back. But Farah says that, you know, with all that money that he makes, he gets no cut from it. He gets nothing. He doesn't get appreciated, or like, you know, you worked so hard, you know, take this and save, or let us send something back home to your parents. Nothing, not a nil, nothing. And so Njeri Mwangi, the BBC investigator, what she did was she recruited someone to go undercover and find out, you know, about Farah and how he's living. And so he or she did and went and ahead and got you know, work at where Farah stays, because they followed Farah one day as he was being taken home where they stay, and they went and got work there as a cleaner. And so she found out that Farah doesn't get anything, first of all, but everybody else gets a cut from what Farah has been making. And one time she got, you know, to investigate, like, not investigate, like interview Farah. No one was around, so she took the opportunity and started asking him questions about, like, you know, how he's being treated and everything. And we end up finding that the person who he is staying with, or took him, his name is no, wait a minute, no. Farah also said that when he falls sick, he doesn't get taken to the hospital. Like, you deal with your sickness, but, you know, at the end of the day, we must work. I hate such people. We must work, we must do this, and these are people who are exploiting disabled people. And there's a twist to this for exploiting disabled people. You'll be shocked. I was telling my sister in the morning that story, and she was shocked with the twist. And Farah says that when he doesn't bring good money, like, you know, at least 2,000 a day. He gets beat. He gets beat way. And my first like thought went to like, how is it his fault that hakukuwa na watu kwa streets? You know, some things like make it make sense, bruv. No, for real, but make it make sense. Seriously, how is Farah supposed to go knocking on people's door? He can't even walk. Let's start there. He's disabled. He's paralyzed from the waist below. He can only use one hand. He's literally on a wheelchair, and you expect him to bring you more than 2K a day? Something's got be wrong with you. Donabua, Nairobi is not a city to play with, literally. But Zengo is the one of the traffickers that we're going to talk about today, and he's the one that captured Farah and literally enslaved this Farah guy. Like I said, whatever little money Farah brings home, okay, that's not little. 2K is good money for someone like Farah making, you know, a day begging or borrowing. He splits it with he has help. Zengo has help. All these traffickers who are in charge of people, disabled kids like Farah, do get help from people. There are people who like push them on the wheelchair, get them on the bus to take them back home, or like from home to the office where they work, the streets. So he splits. When Farah comes, they take the money bag, splits them, and Farah is just there watching. I was watching that while they were splitting, and he's just there seated with, you know, a sad face, but kind of like a smile, like mtoto amefanywa mnyonge to a point where he is, you know. Surely sometimes like he's stayed there for so long that he has amekuwa mnyonge mwenyewe. He's become like, I don't even know how to say, and he kind of like, he has nowhere to go. He has nowhere to run. And when the recruited person, when this other person was recruited by Jerry Mwangi, they said that 2 of the boys that Zengo had like run away, but then Farah couldn't run away because he was like paralyzed from waist below, and we are making a run for it, we're escaping. It would have been like, Farah would have been, what can I say, angekuwa mzigo kwao, basically, you know, technically speaking. And in Kariobangi is where it's like the mecca for traffickers to, you know, bring in their goods. No, I don't want to say that. To bring in their, you know, for them, like this beggars, this disabled people from Tanzania that they bring here, to them they're like merchandise, just like money making machines. Huh? They're like robots. They don't see them as human beings. So Kariobangi is their mecca, where they, ustadhi wangu anaweza nichapa kisema mecca, their mecca is their mecca for all this, and they bring them there, and there's so many housing. Okay, Kariobangi is already like known for like crime, and there's high crime rate, so it is the perfect place for them to, you know, to blend in with people, and them to be undercover, for them to be able to do their illegal stuff. Let me do this other eye, and I'll be right back with the whole eye finished, so that's how I don't go anywhere. So I'm back with the finished eye look, and I like it. Anyway, so this Zengo guy was really beating the hell out of Farah for not bringing enough money, and Another place that is also flooded with this, street beggars is Gikomba. If you stay in Nairobi and you have never been to Gikomba, not even once, kwani hujui town? Wewe ni mgeni hapa Nairobi? Kwani hujui town? That's a sound on TikTok. Anyway, but how can you say I stayed in Nairobi, or there's a time I stayed in Nairobi and you don't know Gikomba? You should, everyone who stays in Nairobi should know where Gikomba is and visit Gikomba even if it's once. I know I do. But anyway, Gikomba is another place where, it's like an office for the beggars. That's where they're taken to, because Gikomba, like I said, if you've been there, you know it is a very busy area. Iko na watu, imejaa watu sana, so much. So they take advantage of that and take these disabled people to Gikomba to basically beg against their own will, because most of them is literally against their own will. Some of them go there even as young girls and become mothers. You can imagine what happens to them against their own will. I don't even want to talk about it. And the BBC investigator, Jerry Mwangi, recruited a second person to go undercover as a buyer, because they wanted to, Zengu is one trafficker, but where does he get his connections from? Where does he buy other kids from? They wanted to know his source. So this woman went undercover and she managed to get, to someone known as Kamwa Mwasenga. And he was a regular smuggler of kids. I'm not going to say smuggling because that is smuggling. You're taking these kids out of their homes and you're taking advantage of so I have to hurry up, my phone is acting up. And she managed to get to the Kamwe, and Kamwe was like, he was boasting about how he got those kids and blah blah blah. So they ended up, Kamwe ended up even going to Tanzania and smuggling other kids and trying to sell them to, Jerry and her team, but that did not happen. And when Jerry got news that Farah, had told the first person who was recruited to investigate and go undercover that, he was going through abuse, Jerry went to the police, reported them. Police did, for the first time I can say props to police, they did their work. They actually got there, and what can I say? They arrested them. They went first to Kamwe's place, and they got what they were looking for. They managed to get some of the people that were under Kamwe's custody. Imagine there was a room of 5 people. There were women, young children, and it was a windowless room. You can imagine. And Kamwe was refusing, hapana, sio wangu, sijui nini. Yani he was just denying, come on dude, really, why you gotta deny? So he was arrested, and remember, and then they went to Zengu's place. Zengu really did cause a bit of drama here and there, but alas, they did manage to capture him and get him to police custody. And let me tell you, Zengu's wife or partner or whoever started making a scene. How can police, remember the twist I told you about, those that even shocked my sister? Zengu and Kamwe, the guys who are capturing these disabled people from Tanzania and bringing them to Kenya, they are also disabled. Nairobi hakuna huruma, no one is nice, you can't even trust anyone. But anyway, me, I was shocked at that point. Zengu was throwing his crutches away and be nikitaka mnibebe. So police are okay, fine. He was carried away in a very not proper manner, and the wife was crying, how can you police be so ruthless? You're carrying away a disabled man like this in the middle of the night. Like, do you know what that disabled man has been doing to other disabled people? Relax. That is one of the point the you know, the places where you say in Africa you're like, it's fine. But he was arrested, they're still in, police custody, and Farah was rescued and was taken to a center where he's undergoing, what is it, like carpentry. He's much happier there where he is, that's for sure. And the fact that he hasn't seen his mom, who's that girl, he hasn't seen his mom for like ages, really didn't sit right with Jerry Mwangi, and she went ahead and did what she had to do and got and found Jerry's mom, sorry, and found Farah's mom, and they video called, and Farah was like, I want to come back home. She's like, also want you to come back home, but the conditions here home are not, well, they are not suitable, so I would advise you to stay there until I find money and move to a not so remote area, and yeah, we can move. So this story has shocked me, because this is something that umekuwa Nairobi or any part of the country, you've seen these kids on the streets begging, and it has become so normal to us, we don't even think about it. People, it's a whole cartel, and it's going on in the front of police's eyes, because kwa barabara police are there, you don't even know what is actually happening. That's really, really, really unfortunate. I don't like it a single bit, let me just be honest with it, but I look good today. So yeah, this is today's makeup look. It's very blue. It's very blue and I like it, but that's unfortunate. These Kenyan stories are now coming up to me, and I'm really getting shocked, like this is what is happening here. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, click that bell notification icon down below, and turn it on. Yeah, and subscribe, and also share, tell your friends to support me here. Yeah, so bye and see you later. Now I'm going to go kwa TikTok. Bye bye.